We're here to celebrate the return of one of the greatest authors of children's literature. Sharon Draper is a national treasure. One of her books, Out of My Mind, has been on the bestseller list for 10 years. Time magazine called another one of her books Blended, which is about a biracial child whose parents are divorced. They called it one of the 100 most influential books of our time. Sharon Draper, welcome.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here. I've got chill bumps.
It is such an honor to be your publisher. And one of the first questions I wanted to ask you was, it's clear that you understand the hearts and the minds of children in a really profound way. And I was wondering, how do you think you gained that understanding?
I taught for 30 years and I have 4 children. So I have experience up close and personal at home and from interacting with young people every single day of my life.
And do you think that being a teacher is a particularly good experience if you want to become a writer? I mean, how does being a teacher help?
It helped because I was a writing teacher, but I never wrote anything. I taught for 25 years before a student came up to me and said, "How come you ain't never wrote nothing?" And so I said, he says, "You're always making us write stuff." That kind of gave me the idea that, well, gee, I can write something. If I can teach writing, I certainly ought to be able to do what I'm teaching.
Out of My Mind and your new book, Out of My Heart, are groundbreaking books because they're written from the point of view of a wonderful and amazing girl with cerebral palsy. Her name is Melody, and she's an extraordinary character. And we watch her grow and learn and express herself and challenge herself in ways that are inspiring. So what compelled you to begin writing about Melody?
Melody came from my heart. People ask me a lot, where do characters come from? They just emerge and I have to write them. I have experience working with kids with disabilities. I've had students with disabilities. I have family members with disabilities, and they don't get their stories told. And they deserve a voice just like everybody else. So Melody came to me and said, "You've got to write my story."
You introduced Melody to readers in Out of My Mind about 10 years ago. Why did you wait so long to continue Melody's story?
I've had literally hundreds, maybe thousands of letters and emails from young people saying, so what happened to Melody? So what happened to Melody? I said, sometimes a character just must exist and then we remember her forever. But somehow this past couple of years, I said, maybe it's time to tell her story, to expand her story. Let's give her something else. Let's let her do something. Let's let her be successful at something. So I sent her to summer camp.
Fireflies recur throughout this novel. They're also featured on the cover. What is the significance of fireflies?
When I was a little girl, we used to go outside and catch lightning bugs and put them in a jar. The light of those little bugs in the jar and the fact that they chose to release the bugs into the night, I thought was really, really significant. You don't keep them in a jar, you let them fly.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk. It is a pleasure to meet you finally.
Well, this has been delightful. I am so excited to see what Melody's going to do next. I really am.
So am I. Write more of them.
Okay. Oh, dear.
Sharon Draper, it is an honor to be your publisher. And that is the word according to Karp.